Namaste. The CITER, Center for Yoga Therapy Education and Research, has been functioning in the Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth University since November 1, 2010. CITER is an innovative center. It is a center focusing on salutogenesis, all the causes and the methods to maintain, sustain, and attain health in the individual.
The innovative focus of CITER is on salutogenesis, the concept of health promotion and disease prevention and management that enables us to work towards the holistic health and well-being for all. All students of the constituent colleges of Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth are exposed to the yoga training on a regular basis.
Yoga, the ancient art and science given to us by the Indian civilization, the gift to the entire humankind, is being propagated through Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth in an innovative manner. Here at CITER, because we are in a healthcare medical institution, we are able to serve those patients who are suffering from various psychosomatic, lifestyle, stress-induced disorders. Patients at our hospital, the Mahatma Gandhi Medical Hospital here, they get the yoga therapy as part of the entire treatment protocol. A patient with diabetes would get the diabetic management of modern medicine, and in addition, the adjuvant therapy of yoga along with it. Similarly, we are doing work in psychiatry, we are doing work in dermatology, neurology, neurosurgery, and of course, obstetrics and gynecology. At CITER, we are focusing on three aspects: therapy, education, and research.
Yoga is the greatest contributions of India to entire mankind of the world. Recently, the government of India is currently promoting indigenous system of health, including yoga, in strong manner through the Ministry of Ayush.
As a therapeutic center in a medical institution, we have given yoga therapy as individual, small group, and larger group settings. Yes. Namaste, Vanakkam, Swagatam, Shubhrabad. We welcome everyone to this morning's inaugural session of the SBV IDY 2021 week-long Yogina. We begin with a prayer. I request everyone to sit quietly, eyes closed, and in the yogic style, we'll begin with a prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. We welcome everyone to today, and we will begin by the SBV anthem, which is a very special composition that is talking about Vidya and the importance of knowledge. I request everyone to keep the eyes closed and sit quietly. Sorry. I request everyone to stand for this SBV anthem.
No one can steal education or vidya. No authority can snatch it. Not divided in brothers, not heavy to carry. As you consume or spend, it increases. As you share, it expands. Education or vidya is the best wealth and all the wealth anyone can have.
Thank you so much. What you heard is a very specialized composition by our SIMTER team for SBV that is copyrighted, one of the intellectual property of SBV. And we thank our management and authorities, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for supporting all the activities, including such novel, innovative aspects. At the outset, I take this opportunity to welcome to today's SBV IDY, our most respected director of MDNAY, one of the stalwarts of modern yoga in India, the one and only Basava Reddy ji. We welcome you, ji, to this event. Such an honor to have you with us at SBV. I welcome our most honored, visionary, dynamic, and motivating Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor S.C. Parija ji, who is constantly motivating every day in so many ways to take us forward on the innovative focus of salutogenesis. Namaste ji, I welcome you to the event and express our gratitude for your unstinting support for all activities of SITER of SBV. I would like to welcome all our distinguished guest speakers for the Yogina. This whole week we have the Yogina, and we have amazing speakers such as Dr. Selvamurthy ji, the former director of DRDO, Government of India, and presently with Amity University. We welcome our former Vice Chancellor, sir, Seduraman sir. We welcome the most amazing BC Roy awardee, Dr. Rama Reddy ji. We welcome Yogacharani Sangeeta from Italy. We have Yogacharya Bharata from USA. We have such a galaxy of speakers who are going to be adorning the webinar, this Yogina. We have called it a Yogina, a webinar on yoga for this whole week. So we welcome each and every one of you and all our participants. There is a very good response to this Yogina. So we welcome all our participants, all our faculty, students, research scholars who are part of this. And with this brief welcome, I would like to now go on to the next part of today's event. Before that, I would like to welcome our respected registrar, sir, Professor Srinivasan, sir, who is always a great support to us. I must place on record that this type of activity of SITER would not happen without the benevolence of our Chancellor and Chairman, Dr. Sri M.K. Rajagopalan Avargal, who has, with that visionary drive, brought yoga therapy, music therapy into such an amazing health science university. So with these words of welcome, I would like to now request our Professor Dr. Basava Reddy ji to give his inaugural address. Before that, a few words of introduction. Dr. Basava Reddy actually doesn't need much introduction because everybody in the field of yoga, they already know him, and anybody in India who is associated with the Yoga Day, they will know Dr. Basava Reddy ji very, very well. He has been the most important moving force, the dynamic moving force, putting into action the IDY concept of our beloved, most respected Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji. And right from 2015, he has been spearheading the IDY movement with all the yoga institutions as part of it. I'll share the screen again. I thought it was. Can you see my screen now? Yes. Okay. Dr. Basava Reddy ji is director of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush, Government of India for the past 16 years. He is also CEO of the Yoga Certification Board, project director of the World Health Organization Collaborative Center for Yoga, Traditional Medicine. He has worked as advisor, Yoga and Naturopathy, Ministry of Ayush, additional charge of director, CCRYN. He was the founder president of the National Yogasana Sports Federation and the Indian Yoga Association. He was the founding Secretary General who got all the traditions together. Sir is an inspiration for so many of us, and I would like to also at this point mention the great achievement that MDNAY is on its way to becoming a deemed to be university also. So on behalf of our side, we congratulate you, sir, on that, and we welcome you to today's event. And I request you to deliver your inaugural address and bless us all here at SBV with your presence. Namaste ji.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. My pranams to all great yoga masters. Honorable Vice Chancellor of a very prestigious University, Balaji Vidyapeeth, Professor Subhash Chandra Parijaji, Registrar of the University, Professor Srinivasan ji, my esteemed brother, Dr. Anand Palyogi ji, and all Dr. Meena, and all my yoga friends. Dayanidhi is there, Sangeeta, Dr. Rama Reddy ji, all the faculty members of Balaji Vidyapeeth, and student friends. My pranams to you all. My hearty greetings on this inaugural session. I really feel very proud. A medical university has started a department of yoga and started diploma courses, and where it is not only the medical students but also other students are getting PG diploma in yoga therapy from a prestigious university. That is a really achievement, because I know the struggle we make to introduce yoga from last 32 years. We always has to fight and request many things to introduce in school, introduce in hospitals, dispensaries. And I remember my earlier days I used to wear the half pant, t-shirts, go to the school, colleges, demonstrate, motivate the students to practice yoga. So being a physics student, did masters, it all looks a little bit different for me in the beginning. But once I started understanding the philosophy, then the yoga as a life. So yoga has become integral part of life, and every breathe we take, that is yoga. So why I given this introduction is I'm a very small person like this. Many yoga masters, luminaries from the ancient time till date, they have practiced yoga, and they not only kept that knowledge with them, they have given it to the entire humanity. Yoga is not confined to one individual, one ashram, or one nation. It is the universal entity. That is why when Honorable Prime Minister made an appeal to the entire world community on 27th September 2014 in the 69th United Nations General Assembly, it was supported by 177 countries and endorsed by 177 countries, and that is also within a very short period. That is the one of the greatest movement, and I really felt I start weeping. Still today, I become very emotional because we did lot of work. Yoga is our culture, yoga is our emotions. So when it is declared and enjoy. So because the labor we do for the system, because it is the future. So when it was declared and how to celebrate it, make it a universal entity. Because all we talk about union, but there is no uniformity in the teaching methods. Everybody has their own method. That is the beauty of yoga. Diversity and diversified teaching, that is the beauty of yoga. So many people don't accept it, because yoga has modified according to the needs of the people from ancient time till date. That's why there are many schools. There are as many minds, that many yoga schools will be there. Therefore, a good person who understands the very nature of yoga, he received everything in a very calm way. But because end of the point, we are all meeting at the same point. I may be starting somewhere, going somewhere. So we are all meeting at the same destiny. And why to fight? The starting destiny is the same. We all born, and ending destiny is the same. So only thing, we are chosen different path according to our nature. So there should not be anything. With this one, when we started, I'm giving just 5 minutes, the very brief, because it's a very interesting story. So when we started collecting, and only 3-4 Dr. Nagendraji was the chairperson, I was the member secretary. Tiwari is there. Then slowly, because it's a government order, only 5 people. Then I go on adding. Now that committee is more than 70-80 people. So this is the way how I'm doing, slowly introducing all the people who are promoting yoga, gurus. So ultimately on 9th, there was no consciousness about, some people say 20 minutes, 40 minutes, Surya Namaskara, some asana, some kriya. Some people start by doing Kapalbhati is a kriya or pranayama. So all these things I have faced, but in my mind, there is a clarity. We have some schools, the principles of all the schools shall be integrated in our protocol. So ultimately, we come to 35 minutes, when I still remember the leadership shown by Madam Sushma Swaraj, late Sushma Swaraj Madam. So on 9th March, Sadhguruji was there, Gurudev Ravi Shankarji was there, Acharya Balakrishna ji, and everybody, Dr. Anand, everybody. Always Basavaredi is there, Anand is there always. Don't Anand is there, Basavaredi is there. So that's why we represent the cultures and our systems. So sometime if I don't take some name, they are within me. So that much of coordination we have, and we come up with 35 minutes. Now, Professor Subhash Chandra sir, I am very proud. More than 27 crore. It is more than 70 crores. During last 7 years, this year also, if you take it, more than 270 million people practice this one common yoga protocol across the globe. It's one of the biggest public health initiative. So therefore, we are very proud because we did justice to the system. The yogis used to practice for hours together. Pranayama used to, in the earlier days, I had to use for 3 hours, 4 hours, standing in Shirsasana for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, examining various aspects. I saw Gurudev, Guruji, BK Sangari doing yoga 6 hours in a day and examining various aspects. So this is a thing they did it. Then with that knowledge, experience, they put it in the concepts and practices, technology. So just to conclude, now then onwards, it's a wonderful journey. So first year it was only around 2 crores as an official document, 1.5 or 2 crores. But next year it reached to 8, 9. Now last year it was, though pandemic, it is 13 crore. And this time it may be nearly 20, 22 crores. So people are practicing it on that day in one form or the other of the common yoga protocol. And almost 158, 218 missions, including consulate journals, etc. They are actively participating in celebrating all over the world. It's come. Yesterday I joined in Bahrain. Now on 21st I am going to join to Saudi Arabia. All the Islamic countries. So Malaysia, everywhere, yoga are very, very enthusiastic. That means yoga is beyond our religion, beyond our gender, caste, cadre. It is for the entire humanity. So IDY make the entire world united, at least for them. On that day, everybody is practicing. So one protocol. So in the long run, that unity will come. That unity will come, and IDY made that happen. So it is not, yes, the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister is leading it, but behind that there is a labor of lakhs and lakhs of people from the ancient time till date. On this great occasion, I remember all these, I don't name anyone, all these great yoga masters from ancient time till date. So I bow my head and pranams to all this. Now what we have to do? Now the future. So integrative medicine or integral medicine is the future. And yoga is going to play a major role in all the systems. So without yoga, no system become complete. Whether it may be a modern medicine or Ayurveda or Siddha or Unani. Why? So mind plays an important role. So yogic practices are mind-centric. So unless we conquer the mind and unless we calm down the mind and its different dimensions, so we cannot achieve the goal of total health. That's what we are talking about. That's why yoga plays an important role. Then the institution like Balaji Vidyapeeth, Yes Vyasa, Morarji Desai Institute, Kaivalya Dhamma. So who are both medical and traditional backgrounds, and even Niman also started integrative medicine department. So like this, we have the stakeholders, we have greater responsibilities. We should not be biased and we should accept the tradition, and but at the same time, we should not reject the contribution of the modern medicine. So unnecessarily we don't enter into the consequences. So in my opinion, there are more researchers than the yoga who did research, and there are more than, we have a meta-analysis in our institute from 2006 to 2021. So more than 11,000 and odd, 11,212 research paper we analyzed. And many of them are modern medical professionals. So they have accepted. Only a small fraction of people still they have, and that will continue. That is the nature. Unless they question, we will not improve. So that's why people always, whenever people question, we start argument. So in my opinion, if they question, I will be very delighted to address it. Yes, they have raised the question, I have to answer. If I answer them and convince them, and they become part of my group. So this is the approach of yoga. So if you are practicing yoga, this approach will come. So that's why yoga people always, the good persons will unite with everybody, because their acceptability rate is there. That is one thing. Lastly, I will make some 20 minutes presentation. What are the basic concepts of yoga therapy? Once I confine to my slides, I cannot speak spontaneously. That's why before that, this is the way how we have to acceptability and bring the freedom to speak, freedom to these things. But freedom is not a swechha. Freedom comes with responsibility. So we are responsible. So I become emotional when system is going to direct. So if I respect any other system, and others people will respect me, it is a mutual respect, mutual freedom, understanding. Somewhere the essence will come. How these great things happen. This is the way I study all the systems of philosophies. I did masters in philosophy, then did all these studies very thoroughly for 8 years. Then only I start believing. It was very difficult as a student of science, hardcore science students, to accept these very abstract this thing, but very rational. It is showed me analytical thinking and taking the right decision at appropriate time. So that is the yoga. That nitya anitya vastu vivek. So once we establish in that one, there is an acceptance. So this message has to be transferred to all the medical fraternity, those who are doing the yoga therapy or yoga as fitness, wellness, whatever we call it as. The principles are the same. How we can put them and get the results objective wise. I am doing yoga for fitness, adopt the fitness principle. I am doing for yoga for moksha or salvation, and adopt that principles. Depends upon our objectives. So our methods and technologies will continue. So what is that? How it happens? One, yoga is basically a spiritual discipline and it is a philosophy. Then people say philosophy and give it, but philosophy, there is a science. You have to understand the science, how our electrical bulb, all the scientific discoveries has come. They're all the philosophers, basically. Einstein, great philosopher, is a physicist, but basically is a philosopher. But he brought into the scientific language, empirical knowledge. Then they converted into technology. Then technology to the appliances, that is called the protocols. We are bringing the medicines, I am bringing the protocols. So now protocols, and there are many protocols, individualized protocols and generalized protocols. So this is the need of the hour, where Balaji Vidyapeeth has a major role, and I thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor and the Chancellor of the University for promoting yoga. My hearty congratulations. So I wish the conference all the best, and there are many legends, our mentors like Salamurthy ji and our Satish Chandra ji. Then I do know from AIMS also, there are many people, and I respect them. I am very small people. That's why when you put my name first, my mentors are there. They should come first. That is the culture in yoga. So our seniors should come first, and we are always standing behind them. We are following their right path. That's why. But you have given the respect, honor. It is not to the Basareddy, for the institution you had given the honor. I take it in that order, and I thank you from my bottom of heart for giving an opportunity to address and share my views. With these things, I am sharing my slides. Sorry. Yeah. Can you see this one? Can you see? Hello?
No, sir, it is
So,
not.
उनको share कर लीजिए. Can you see now? Share करो. 1 minute.
Yes.
Share.
We have to give some.
Allow us to share my slides.
Yes, sir. 1 second. I'll just change as a
Yeah.
co-host. I think that is the issue there. For AK second, sir. Yes, I have made as co-host. Now you should be able to share, I think. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Can you see? Full
Yes,
color? Okay. Thank you. So it will be exactly another 20 or maximum 25 minutes. It's very important. I want to share many times. Dr. Anand and others might have, but I have my own views, integrating the various philosophies and how yoga works. So there are these 6 silent points, but the last one, yoga practices are mind centric. If I'm practicing yoga, I don't have any impact on my mind and impact on my life, and my practices are not correct. I have to recheck this is the quality control. So where I have to go back, where I have went wrong, and introduce it. So there are references from the ancient Vedic time to till today. So there are many scholars did it. This is my definition. So what I understand yoga. So complete cessation of all kinds of suffering and its root cause ignorance, which is called kaivalya or moksha or liberation or nirvana. I call it as one word, freedom. For me, yoga means freedom. So Sankhya Kapila said there are tapatrayas, dukkhatrayas, adibhautika, adidevika, adhyatmika. Patanjali says what is the cause for this dukkha? This is ignorance. That is avidya is the root cause. Therefore, we have to overcome this suffering and first to understand what is avidya, and then to overcome that root causes of the suffering. Then we lead a life of freedom, total freedom. Some people give it in the mukti in this, but I believe that freedom should be every day. Every day I should be live in freedom. So I don't know after death what happens. Some people say mukti after death, but this life is more important for us. In this life, every day is important for us. Tomorrow I don't know. Today I want to live in freedom, happiness, ananda, total freedom. That spiritual discipline which leads to such a freedom is yoga. Why use the word spiritual discipline? What is the essence of man? Spirit is the essence of man. Therefore, if you don't practice yoga to understand what you are, then there is no meaning for that. So I'm doing only for an exercise, and only the approach has to be changed. Practices are the same. Approach has to be changed, so then it will become a total discipline which will be useful. So then the role of yoga and health well-being. From the ancient time, it is being practiced as a preventive medicine and also for health promotion. In the recent past, many researches shows yoga is very beneficial in the management of lifestyle related or non-communicable disorders. So in our institute is also WHOCC, where we are working from last date on various models for the non-communicable diseases in consultation with all the professionals, yoga therapists, yoga consultant, etc. So then with this, when you practice yoga, what happens? So stress level reduce stress. So whenever we are stress free, there is a mindfulness. Most importantly, the metabolic activities, quality of sleep, etc. increase. That enhances the relaxation, that leads to the positive health. Let us see how it happens. I am the body of 3 body, and in the Taitra Upanishad they call it Pancha Kosha Viveka. So Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. This concept is there wonderfully, but we have to understand it very, very subtle aspects of these koshas. Why I'm telling you Annamaya Kosha means only stomach, Jatara. It is not so. Annamaya Kosha means entire, the gross body, the physical body. So this concept has to be. Pranamaya Kosha means it's not only the breathing what we breathe. Prana is the energy, it is in the next level. So Manomaya Kosha means it is in the another level. Like as in the electronic, there are orbits. The center is the nucleus, then the orbits goes on. second orbit, third orbit. It is the upper side. It is not in the physical body. That's why they are called the subtle body and causal body. This concept has to be understood, because whenever we start working, oh, mind is the win. The impact of mind is on our brain, brain impact on the mind. But brain functions are not complete. That's why there is a lot of conflict between the modern psychologist and also the yoga. Yoga concept of mind in yoga is entirely different, and still it stands. Many people understand that. So how it works, I thank for this concept by my Didi Nagaratnaji. Always she said that Manaprashamanopaya, disturbance start in the mind. So then it disturb my breathing and the pranic activities. That brings the disturbance in the disorders. And continuous long-term continuation of the disorders leads to diseases. Then they convert into lifestyle disorder, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disorders, etc. Where yoga comes. So there are many methods, but one method is Ashtanga Yoga. We have a tantric concept, we have a Vedanta concept, etc. So one of the method is Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali. So he puts for two important things many people ignore. So in medical terminology, we call the quality control. So always I said Yama Niyamas are quality control. Whenever I am not getting the results, I am checking whether how much Yama Niyamas I made the patient or person to follow. So that much of good results I am getting. This is my personal experience. I think Dr. Anand will agree with that. So we don't insist the people to practice them. It is the teachers or therapist job how to make them convince, and without knowing them, they start following it. So that's why these are the quality controls and very, very important tools for the management of disorders. Then in Patanjali has given two concepts. One is the theory of klesha, and the other is the theory of chitta vikshepa. So these are the two, avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. And there are diagnostic methods where we are standing. So we analyze like this. Then for vyadhi, dhyana, samshaya, etc., etc. So then there are dukkha, dormanasya, angamejetva, shwasa, prashwasa. So it has been just giving one thing. Same thing in Nadi Shastra, same thing in chakra, Shat Chakra, same thing in mantra. I am just giving for your all medical students. This is our concepts and principles. So yoga person, I am giving only the concept of yoga Patanjali, some points, not completely. So like this, all these things we understand and we analyze. So what is the root cause of the disorder or the defect? So accordingly, we start devising this thing. What is the best method? I put forward three things. Kindly see. The left side, I am putting up Yama Niyamas are the prerequisites. But always I start with detoxification. Kriya, some kriyas, Neti, Dhoti, Kapalbhati. Always I recommend for the beginners as they require. It's not compulsion. Yuktahara, the Ayurveda, etc. But yoga, I start with Yuktahara. I have a difference between Yuktahara and Mitahara. So once he become a Yuktahara for a Bhogi, Mitahara for a Yogi. So I have to convert the Bhogi to the Yogi. I have to change that Yuktahara. Yuktahara means what to eat in the morning, what to eat in the evening, what are the ingredients according to the season. So I have to follow the Yuktahara. But Mitahara, Snigdha, Madhura, Chaturtamsha Vivarjita. Bhujjate Siva Samprita Mitahara Sauchate. So the state of mind while preparing the food, by eating the food, all these things comes, that makes him a yogi. So these are very, very subtle aspects. Initially, we never teach them. But after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we start teaching them, then they will start following it. So yoga works that. Previous slides were important. I put asana in a very small circle. Then I put pranayama in the bigger circle and dhyana in the much bigger circle. Because dhyana yoga, once you made the person to meditate, and he himself will modify his asanas, modified his pranayama, and ultimately he become a self practitioner. That is the goal. So how yoga works? So once we do asana, pranayama, and dhyana, so we have balanced endocrinal and nervous control. Two most important systems are going to affect, the research shows. One is endocrinal, the second one is both autonomous nervous system and central nervous system. So once they get into the right action, then there is a mind-body coordination that leads to the always I feel calm, quiet, refreshed, and that leads to health and harmony. This is the way how we work, yoga works. Then this is I follow while advocating yoga. Whenever a person come, whether it is in a camp or something, always I go for the shaucha, purification, shodhana. It's not only the Shatkarma I am talking about. There are many procedures of Shodhana. So according to the situation, suppose I am office hour, somebody is coming, I want to teach for only 10 minutes. Still I follow this purification. Make them sit quiet for these things and 1 minute and I start. Because this is the procedure. Then always I advise for the diet, proper diet according to the season, according to their work style and according to their psychophysiological conditions. Diet modification is very, very important. So one thing I don't agree that nowadays we come up with a calorie calculation. So I have my reservations, yoga for the wholesome. Calories is okay, but in diabetes and others, but holistic diet pattern is very, very important where yoga advocates. Then once we work, we have a deformities in the sitting, standing, etc. or postural modification. Then comes the breathe modification. Then it is relaxation. So many people I am seeing, they teach meditation just whenever they start. So meditation, it is not the way, it's a procedure. So like this, whenever you operate, you follow the procedure. So whenever I have to teach meditation, I have to follow the procedure. So like this purification, diet modification, postural, breathe, relaxation. So in relaxation, we do the pratyahara practice also, yoga nidra, etc. That makes it to concentration, dharana. Then deshabandha chittasya dharana. So then we start reading. Prolonged concentration, meditation happens. I cannot teach meditation. Meditation happens, but I can take the people to that state and leave it because it is an internal journey. Neither me or Dr. Anand have the permission to enter the territory of individuals' internal journey. It is own journey, but we can take them to the up to the door and leave them, and they will start. Then it is vichara, vitarka, ananda, spita, various stages of dhyana. It will go. They brings the behavioral modification. I start changing my thought process. I start eating well, correcting my posture. Everything is start. It takes minimum 3 weeks to 3 months, in my opinion. So that's why quick results are not there. That's why we said in the beginning, continue with the medication and just integrate yoga and slowly increase the practice of yoga, the quality yoga practices, and you reduce the medication. So if you 100% follow the yogic life, and there is no need of medication too, but very rarely people go to that state. That's why we need the help of the medication. So with this, and this is the concept I already discussed. We not only quality, quantity, but the state of mind also yoga emphasize. So then there are the cleansing processes. I prefer always neti, dhoti, kapalabhati. Even in the regular practice also, what is neti? Neti is a nasal wash. So in yoga, if you see the traditional text, cleansing they are using only 3. One is air, vayu. The second one is the water, pure water, nothing else. And third one is the cotton cloths. We are not using any medicines. Even you do vastradauti, even you do basti or anything, manipulation techniques, everything, we don't use any medication. It's simple. That's why in neti you cannot do, then start doing it very fast and etc. There is a friction. Then especially in the long run, it helps to clean the frontal sinus and helps me to practice yoga as pranayama better. So these are the cleansing practices. Sorry. Yeah. So what are the benefits of Shatkarma? Detoxify the body physically, mentally, and tones up the functions of organs, desensitizes and develops deep internal awareness. I'm showing you the how Kapalabhati helps on the frontal sinus. Usually we concentrate on our only abdomen movements. The impact of Kapalabhati is on the frontal sinus. So that's why Kapalabhati is an important kriya, and it should be very diligently. Some people do it. In 2008, I went to Supreme Court to teach, and he learned from some Swamiji. Then he doing it for 800 strokes. So I overcome hypertension like this, but he is suffering from very acute neurosis and other problems. So these are the things happening, and many people don't know the medical conditions. So spontaneously they advocate there is a gods on the earth. Then it is not, and we should be very, very careful, because life is more important than what we say. So that's why Kapalbhati is a wonderful practice, but it should be, many people are doing wrong. That's why I emphasize it. So we have to use it. Next, sun salutation is one of the integral part of our sadhana, though it is not mentioned in any yoga text. So most importantly, the flexibility of the spine and coordination of breathing and improving the brain functions. These are the three. That's why brightness and longevity improves. So if you have a flexible spine and many other activities, our vagus functions are improving, and definitely it improves the health and well-being. Next comes the asanas. Asanas do promote good health, although in different ways compared to physical exercises, placing both mind and body in a position that also cultivate awareness, relaxation, and help of concentration. It's not a mere physical, these things, all these things, awareness, relaxation, and concentration. These should be cultivated. That's why I'm choosing minimum 6 type of asanas in my everyday routine: forward bending, backward bending, lateral bending, twisting, topsy-turvy, and also relaxing postures. It should be the integral part of our 20 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour, 1 hour. If it is not there, your plate is not complete, the food is not complete, your sadhana is not complete. So this is the therapist, even if you do, and for very acute backache also, I follow this. How we make them forward, backward, etc. It is modification. It's my. So these are the benefits of asanas. Then you see stable, comfortable, effortless, and infinite feeling, dual free. So this is most important. The principles of asanas mentioned in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. In Vinyasa Yoga, in Yoga Rahasya, they follow these steps while advocating. I do follow Vinyasa. So before and systematic way of Vinyasa Krama. Then Shwasa Krama, Drishti, Sthiti, Vishranti. All these things has to be followed, especially while giving the yoga therapy. This is the way how Guruji Iyengarji has developed the props, and I know Madam Bhavanani Madam and Dr. Anandji, Geetanand Giriji. I know that they also modified and bringing the alignment. This is the individualized, specialized things they brought in. That's why we have many methods, but each method have its own dimension. So I use these slides from my good 2 slides. He's a physiotherapist from Jipmer, and he brought it very beautifully how our physics has applied. So I give credit to these 2 slides for them. So especially the 4 fundamental forces are working on our body. So whenever I'm teaching about prana, it's very vital important to alignment principles. How our gravitation force work, electromagnetic force work, and weak force and strong force works on our body. So if you have the fundamental knowledge, the mechanics, then ultimately you will correct the posture. So if that person is standing or staying in that posture for a long time, that will be coming. Why I put this last posture? Every asana should become the Shavasana. Every asana should become the Shavasana. So Shavasana is simple. Many people sleep, but Shavasana is a conscious process. So that's why Ananta Samapatti, we call it as. Okay, that's why it will be happening. Then there are some researches. You all know that for your information, we put forward some asanas. End of the Common Yoga Protocol booklet, you can find some 20-25 references. I referred some 60 texts, but at the same time, I gone through the various researches. So in each asana, very particularly I picked up. That means the blend of both tradition and the clinical researches, and that's why the Common Yoga Protocol widely accepted. These are the pranayama, and many pranayamas. They are most important Nadi Shodhana pranayama. So once you do only Anuloma Viloma, it is a breathing exercise. So once it is Nadi Shuddhi, you are channelizing, there is a process. of inhalation, retention, exhalation, and depends upon the condition I am variating. Some people have to 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, like this. All of things I don't want to discuss it. It needs a lot of explanation about it. It is the wisdom of the teacher who is having the knowledgeable, and he will put the ratio. So then if it is not a regulated, controlled inhalation, retention, exhalation with awareness. Awareness is most important. It is a breathing, but the sense of awareness, it is prana. That awareness you will taking it to the from body to the higher level. That prana connects with my mind, not this breathing. But there is a prana in my breathing, but prana is not breathing. This is the difference. So I am coming up that. That's another plane of reference. So this is the jumping where I use the word next. This is the healthy breathing, healthy lungs to the healthy heart to the healthy vagus functions. And vagus connects to the prana, then prana to the mind. So I follow this. I believe it whether modern medical people accept it or not. But I work on my breathing, my heart, my vagus. Then ultimately and continuous Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, I experience the core type of thing and I am totally free from my body sense. So I'm in the different world. This is only experience. But only thing is people, scientific people ask for the proof. Sometimes we don't have the proof unless accept our experience. So that's why many times we don't able to convince to the materialistic experiment. That's why I use the word yoga is a subtle science. So these are the some of the things you all medical professionals skip. So this is the effects of benefits of pranayama. Then these are the research studies. Most importantly, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama reduces the sympathetic activity, stimulates vagal activity, and decreases stress and anxiety. Ujjayi increases the oxygen saturation. Brahmari Pranayama is similar to the humming. Even our KK Agarwalji always, Basavaradi or Brahmari is a very good tranquilizer. We don't need any tranquilizers, you practice Brahmari. So then nasal nitric acid, which may improve the blood flow, the salivary epithelium, and also work as an anti-inflammatory action. Brahmari is a wonderful practice. Then most importantly comes to the meditation. So many people do meditation. We simplify, but really this is the process. A generic triangular base and alignment, you can see the pyramids. So if you follow the tantric yoga, so all these geometrical figures are very, very important. The triangle, rectangle, and pentacle. We prepared the body and just take mandala. All these concepts are there. You're all medical people. I use less these yogic terminology. This is our anatomy and physiology. So we prepared that why a particular good guru may take you to immediately to the state of meditation, because he knows the art and the science and the technology. So immediately we take them to the meditative state. So every day I am touching, taking them, leaving to the door of the meditation. And if you are enjoying it, then really changes will occur. So even the eyelid movements, the navel flux plays an important role in the meditation. Navel movements, diaphragm movements, everything plays an important role. These are the researches. Most importantly, evidence-based research shows the practice of meditation and yoga nidra heighten the theta and alpha 1 activity in our brain. This is associated with the relaxation, creativity, somatic memory, and attention. Then meditation always increases the serotonin, decreases the cortisol, which is called the stress hormone, balances the dopamine and autonomic nervous functions. It elevates the stress and anxiety. And Dr. Anand knows it, and we have more than 6,000 research paper on meditation, especially transcendental meditation, Mahesh Yogis. And we have only 5,000 and odd research papers on yoga, but we have a huge number of papers on meditation and its impact. But only thing I would like to say, the concept of meditation in Western countries and the dhyana are different. Yoga, dhyana is very subtler. The meditation concept, and that's why they put yoga and meditation. Earlier I used to get into the dialogues. Nowadays I don't. Okay, you call, because for us meditation is yoga. For them this is different. That's why there is only the terminology. Because when I went in 2019 to the German, so that spirit means mind is spirit for them. The concept in different countries, the wordings are different. So therefore, there is no need to argue that. So that's why meditation is a little that same thing as darshana and philosophy. It is dhyana and meditation. So the research papers now, it is only on meditation, not really on dhyana, because in dhyana we get much better results if you get. So in our institute, where our teacher Dr. Madan Mohanji was also part of this our group, along with our late Dr. Bholeji, and we have done some meta-analysis of yoga research studies for the documentation and promotion of evidence-based uses of yoga. And from earlier with that to 2006 to 17, another 4 years also, it is underway. So just I will skip up because time is running. This is the asthma and diabetes mellitus, effects of diabetes mellitus. Then all these people will know yoga intervention for the diabetes mellitus, and we put up psychological disorders. Then yoga and stress, most importantly. So that also how it works on us, we got in. Then central nervous system, musculoskeletal system. And this is the way how I'm assessing. What is the assessment? So after 5 days, I give 3 days minimum to understand the person. I take minimum 3 days to understand the person in the same time. Then I advocate another 2 days. The total 5 days, I assess the entire personality. So in 1 week or 2 weeks, whether you're feeling flexible, relaxed, active, mind is much more calm and composed before 1 week. Then he started thinking positive, and he starting relaxation, sleep quality has been improved. Then slowly at the end, I'm feeling the happiness within. So we are starving hard for happiness. Sukha pravritti, dukkha nivritti is the nature of every human being. But we are searching happiness outside, but yoga tells its happiness is inside. Once we make the patients or a person to feel that it is internal awareness, he continue with some of the complications or problems of diabetes or hypertension, but is always trupta, happiness is started. Because the great yogis are also having some physiological conditions or some disorders, but internally they are enlightened. This is the way how yoga overcome, because I'm in the different flame of reference. I use the word again and again. So I'm not in the gross body, Sthula Sharira, the disease, but I have elevated myself into the higher level of consciousness. So there I leave that the deformities, etc., will be minimized, or they are not affecting my happiness. This is the state. If I take them, then I'm a really good yoga therapist, a good teacher. That's the need of the hour, where in Balaji Dham, whoever comes out, they should be first a sadhak. They should be a good teacher of yoga. Then only they can be therapists, then consultants. And I am not a white coat. If I wear the white coat, become the doctor. It's not the yoga culture. You wear the white coat, no problem, yoga therapist. But you do practice. Difference between one difference I said, other medical system and yoga is, so we study and we advocate. Here we practice and advocate. So unless you experience, you cannot teach. This is I found in my life. So sometimes I'm not having authority because I may be knowing it, but I can't speak because I have not experienced it. Today, whatever I put forward, I have not mentioned about Tantra, I have not mentioned about Vedanta, I am not about many other concepts, Nadi, Chakra, etc. They are also using it. I am using only Hatha Yoga and Panchakosha concept. I am evolved, and these many results I am giving it. So I put forward these things. Now, Now in WHO, we are a collaborative center. I have started with the consumer information booklet, where Dr. Anand was also part of it. We have published it. So now we come up with the models. Now last time we have a discussion on the non-communicable yoga models for the non-communicable diseases. Slowly I'm bringing it. Now it takes long time. Now honestly I'm telling, in the 21st of June, if it is okay, we are bringing up the mobile app. That common yoga protocol, Yoga for Wellness app, is coming up, and it will reach nearly 200 crore people in the next 3 to 5 years. So huge these things. So the common yoga protocol, what we are practicing on the IDY, now it is coming in the form of app. Very shortly, it is going to be released. Once it is popular, this much of population, world population we are reaching. Same thing, the models we are preparing, it is not only MDNY. MDNY is a for all the, I have, as long as I am there, I am open this platform for everybody. So I am only the instrumental in bringing all of them, and they can use the platform. I never claim it is not mine. Common Yoga protocol, it is all the properties, but only I am instrumental in the clubbing and orienting them. Same thing, we have the privilege of bringing these models where our all these schools and all our medical fraternity also join. I would like to say, Professor Sir, one more thing. Many people we don't know. On December 1st, 2016, UNESCO declared yoga as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So for that also we work with Cultural Ministry for 4 years, 3-4 years. So that is one of the most, we did a lot of hard work for that. Where I had given the bonds from 76 stakeholders, they're given the bond. That much of thing we did it. This is the fashion. Therefore, yoga is our culture. Yoga is our life. So it should be lived. With these few words, I once again thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor and all the faculty members, especially Dr. Anand, for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to share some of the views. I wish the conference all the success. Hope so we'll all join for from your home, following all the COVID principles, etc. We do practice yoga together on 21st of June. Thank you. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much, sir, for that excellent overview of yoga therapy, yoga and yoga therapy, as well as the history of the IDY. It is a great pleasure to listen to you and have this presentation. Due to a technical error, I was not able to get our registrar sir into the panel earlier. So I request registrar sir to a short felicitation, following which we'll have the SBV IDY Yoga Day address by our respected Vice Chancellor sir. So a small change here happened because of a technical issue. I apologize for it. So I request our registrar sir, Professor Srinivasan sir, to felicitate for a few minutes.
Thank you, Professor Ananda. At the outset, I thank actually the most respected Dr. Basava Reddy for sharing his wisdom through this scholarly presentation in the presence of our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sri Balaji Vidyapeeth, Professor Subhash Chandra Pareja, who is in fact the guiding force behind the conduct of the SBV IDA 2021, and all the learned resource persons of international acclaim, dear delegates, and it is an excellent opportunity for us actually to meet, despite the fact that we are now in the grueling pandemic time. And I think yoga and salutogenesis actually come in at the right or the most appropriate time, especially here, because enhancing salutogenesis through yoga therapy is actually I will say it can be both the cause as well as the effect. The effect actually is going to be the holistic health and the shift from the diseases actually to the health or the origin of health, focusing on the cardinal aspects actually of health, holistic health and well-being. I think they are really, I think, the hallmark actually of yoga, if I can say. And SBV, through its Center for Yoga Therapy Education Research, gives equal thrust or focus on academics, research, as well as patient care. And for the time being, actually, the shift has been from patient care actually to salutogenesis, thereby the holistic well-being. And I'm quite sure the Center for Yoga Therapy Education Research, with its vast experience and also the support and the fillip provided by the able management, we have got actually the huge patronage actually coming from our Honorable Chancellor, Shri M.K. Rajgopalan sir, seed shown by our former Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K.R. Sethuraman, which is fortified by our present Vice Chancellor, Professor S.C. Parija. The impetus has from the disease actually equal thrust given pertaining to salutogenesis. And at this stage, if I am not actually digressing actually from the protocol, I will be requesting actually the Honorable Director of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. Ishwar Basu Reddy, to shower all the patronage actually on SITER. We are humble, we have made a humble effort, and I'm quite sure actually it is in the fitness of things that our small contribution through the dynamic efforts of Professor Ananda Balayogi, Professor Meena Raman and others actually should bear fruit. And I'm quite sure actually, if it is not an exaggeration to state, on a humble note, I request the Honorable Director of the most respected and invaluable Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. Ishwar Basu Reddy, and I'm quite sure actually you'll show the path. And on this note, I wish the function actually the 1 week long, I will say, an academic extravaganza, all the best. And once again, pranams. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for that very, very pertinent felicitation. And it is always a great pleasure to have the supportive milieu of SBV, right from the top down to the bottom, unconditional support, and we really appreciate. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our most respected and honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Subhash Chandra Parija ji, to deliver the Yoga Day address. Sir is one of the most eminent medical professionals, educators, and inspirations for the whole country. He has served with distinction as director of JIPMA. He has been awarded the BC Roy Award. He has more than 400 publications, of which more than 150 are having more than 10 citations. Very amazing, inspirational person for us. And sir is constantly driving us towards excellence. The developments of CITER, the developments of salutogenesis at SBV, we owe you so much, sir. And it is in the fitness of things that we request you now to deliver the Yoga Day address for 2021. Namaste, sir. Vanakkam.
Namaste. Thank you, Dr. Balayogi Anand, very much for your introduction. At the outset, it's my immense pleasure to welcome our most esteemed chief guest of today's function, Dr. Ishwar Basu Reddy, the most eminent stalwart in yogic arena of our country, and who has contributed immensely for the propagations of our yogic culture. Esteemed Professor Ishwar Basu Reddy, Director, Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, my registered Professor Srinivasan, Professor Balayogi Anand, Director CITER, all experts and panelists, including Professor Seturaman, Professor Silvamurthy, Professor Ramesh Bijlani, Professor Manjunath, Professor Shangita Lara Biagi, Professor Amareddy, Yogacharya Bharat, the Francis Berry, Yogacharini Devasena Avanini, and Yogini Shailaja Menon, and all dear participants and my dear faculties. It's my immense pleasure to be here amidst the galaxy of eminent people in the yoga today, at this moment, and to learn a lot from our chief guest, Dr. Ishwar. I was amazed by his experience, by his involvement, and
as a head of the institution like SBV, I was thinking the Dr. Ishwar was already as a head of such eminent Institute of Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga Therapy, how much dedication and commitment he has been moving forward for this institute and for the excellent cause of yoga. I congratulate you, Dr. Ishwar, for your own contribution to this field of yoga. Because of your contributions as a facilitators, yoga under the leadership of our most beloved Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, yoga has the stature it should have been much earlier. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
On behalf of myself, my entire fraternity of Sri Balaji Vidyapith and our Chancellor CMK Rajgopalan, I offer you warm and special greetings in commemoration of the International Day of Yoga 2001. I'm happy to share with all of you that our university, most young and growing university in health sciences, Sri Balaji Vidyapith, SBV, is proactive always as earlier years in celebrating International Day of Yoga every year, and particular for past 6 years. And with organization of many events that contribute to the cause of yoga. I must thank and appreciate the dynamism of Dr. Balyogi Anand, our young director of SciTech, and his entire team, Dr. Meena Ramanathan, Dr. Dayanidhi, and all staffs for putting all their best efforts for initiating a new movement in the process of integrating yoga with our modern medicines in our university, Sri Balaji Vidyapith. Yoga is a cultural heritage of India. It is one of the best gifts India has shared with the entire world in the spirit of one world, one family. This is the uniqueness of our India. The idea of an International Yoga Day of yoga was first proposed by our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, during his historic speech at the United Nations General Assembly, and India's proposal received a broad support with more than 177 nations co-sponsoring this resolution, the highest number of co-sponsors ever for any United Nations General Assembly resolution of such nature. Since then, the International Day of Yoga has been celebrated annually on 21st June every year since 2015, as it is the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere. At Sri Balaji Vidyapith, I am proud to state that a dedicated center for yoga, therapy, education, and research, SciTech, is in place, has been creating waves in the frontiers of academics, patient care, research, and administrations in the realm of yoga in India. SciTech has been doing human service in propagating yoga amongst the public as a measure of promoting good health, complete health, in addition to targeting specific interventions in combination with modern medicine for enabling healing or palliation of the sick. That is what we are here. Our university is here. Our two premier institutes in our university, MGM CRI and SSM CRI. Our objective is here to have a quality healthcare, best to the sick and suffering people. Over the years, the efforts of the center in this direction has raised its profile at the national level, besides bringing considerable knowledge to SBV in publicizing our university's unique contribution to holistic health. SBV, in this respect, stands out amongst many health science universities in India and abroad. The university recognizes that yoga definitely provides a holistic approach to health and well-being, and that wider dissemination of information about benefits of practicing yoga would be beneficial for the health of all the populations all over the world. Yoga is becoming popular worldwide, and many studies and systematic reviews. I was very much interested to learn about interesting meta-analysis being just presented by our chief guest. Such studies are the need of our. I congratulate our chief guest for initiating such studies, and definitely we look forward to have your expertise, to your experience as a collaborative activities of your institute and our universities to initiate such activities. Because after all, we have the responsibilities to prove to the world the benefits of yoga in a scientific manner, the way world understand. I think such studies are really interesting. Now, unfortunately, currently, the entire world is cut in the vice-like grip of COVID-19 pandemic, with all countries reporting casualties, increasing alarmingly moment by moment. Of course, now the second wave has shown a considerable dip in the number of the cases in our country, but most of us are being affected. COVID-19 has brought on another pandemic in its wake, that of fear psychosis. Everyone, everywhere, is affected to some extent. And this fear psychosis, again, is further activated and worsened by unrelenting onslaught of negative social media. Social media show how it can really worsen such apprehensions and turn them into mass fear of psychosis minute by minute. That should be strongly discouraged, and social media should play a important role in propagating the positive news rather than negative. In our country, in recent times, psychoneuroimmunology, a branch of modern medicine, deals with the phenomenon of our thoughts and emotions can affect our immune system. Stress, fear, and negative emotions are known to weaken our immune system. And in this context, yoga, that is what our chief guest, Dr. Ishwar Basavaredi, was trying to emphasize, the intervention of yoga, meditations, pranayams, all mindfulness, positive emotions and relaxation have strengthened our immune system. And that is, in this situation, definitely yoga plays a much more important role in strengthening and having a positive, relaxed life. The limbic system, as he has rightly mentioned, plays a major role in triggering such emotional upheaval that then results in a weakening of the immune systems. It is to emphasize that yoga is very effective for prevention as well as management of all pervading stress and stress-related disorders, including non-communicable diseases. Hence, we need to refocus on our own salutogenesis, swastha, our own inherent capacity and ability to be responsible for our health and happiness. Every individual should be responsible for their own individual happiness and health. We must move from pathogenesis, the focus on disease that worsen the fear, towards the salutogenesis, the focus on health that strengthens all our systems, mind, body, everything together. Yoga empowers us and enables us to take charge of our own life, thus promoting holistic health for each and every one of us. Documented scientific evidences strongly indicate that yoga has promotive, preventive, as well as rehabilitative potential. As a non-pharmacotherapeutics and safe modality, yoga can be used as an effective lifestyle adjunct to medical treatment to reduce drug doses and improve quality of life of the patients. And this is the exact direction we at SBV, with the support of our CITEF, is trying to integrate with the modern medicines to move along these directions. We have ample evidences, research papers published to prove these observations. Before I conclude, I wish to mention knowledge of inexpensive, effective, and easily administrable, most economical. We cannot have such an done yoga techniques by health professionals will definitely go a long way in helping us achieve the goal of World Health Organization to provide physical, mental, and social health for all sections of the people. That is the most important goal. I think we all have the responsibilities to promote, to collaborate, and to implement, and show the public scientifically that this can be done. It's a nice thing we have is yoga. At this juncture, I may be permitted to request Dr. Ishwar Harsaradi, the director of this famous institute. 3 things. I wish your institute should initiate joint collaborative programs like health universities, health science institutes, or different platforms of yoga on the healthcare. That will strengthen your institute and our institute, and that we want to prove the benefits of yoga, immense benefit of yoga in all the tenets of life. I must make a specific request that to begin with, we must have a collaborative program with you, in which we can give our expertise. You can share our expertise. Together we join. I think we can do something difficult to be achievable. That's number one. And number two, I wish that we must promote the starting of chairs in yoga in the university like ours. So that becomes with eminent people contributing their experience and expertise will be benefited, and that will furthermore focus on this. I'm very much be happy. Our university will very much welcome and receptive to initiate starting of such chairs and other things. And last but not the least, I wish we must make more awareness. We think people know, but still we should make more awareness of the scientific benefits to the young population who has been slightly drifting away from this yoga activities. Because that is the age whom we can address. If we can convince, because these young people of 21st century, everything needs evidence and they are justified. It's our responsibilities to provide evidence. We have to communicate with these young masses effectively to adopt yoga as a part of activities. Among many activities they are carrying out together. This could be done. I hope this can be done. We must all work together. And I'm really happy, always I take pride that our university is one of the very few university health sciences in India in which we are recognizing yoga as a complementary medicines with scientific evidences and other things. But it's a long way to go. We have to clear the misconception, apprehensions about yoga, and we have to convince this lot of effects, every one of us, we can inculcate in our life as part of our practice. With these few words, I again thank each and every one of you. My thanks in particular are with our chief guest. Again, I like to thank him. His immense knowledge and wisdom, and of course, experience. Only a yogi who performs has a lot of experience. He is a yogi, he has experience, and with his experience, he's trying to implement. We'll support you, and with this our university will move forward to implement the benefits of yoga for all of us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best for a wonderful conference in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Just your last, once we declared deemed to be university, maybe your university is the first we will come for MOU with 5 years planning. It's not only MOU, but we want to perform the MOU.
Yes.
I do hope on this occasion both of us will agree for that.
We'll do.
Hope so very soon we'll have come up with the programs and MOU. From my
Thank you.
side, it's a request. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Such an inspiring Yoga Day address, and you have brought out the core of the need for integration between modern medicine and yoga. And I thank our chief guest for also immediately putting forth the possibility that we can work together with a very clear plan, a 5-year plan. So we hope that today's seed, today is Sangadahara Chaturthi, a very auspicious day. It is a Shubha Muhurta day, and a seed is being planted. I hope that it will grow and flower to benefit society. So we now propose a vote of thanks by Yoga Chairman Dayanidhi, Assistant Professor at SITE. Unmute.
Namaste, sir. I, on behalf of Center for Yoga Therapy Education and Research of Sri Balaji Vidyapith, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Dr. Ishwara V. Basavareddy, sir, Director Moraj Desai, for his explanation of yogic intervention, yogic diet, yogic cleansing techniques, principle and essential features of yogasana and effects of pranayama, etc. Thank you, sir. I may like to express our sincere thanks to Honorable Professor S.C. Parija, sir, Vice Chancellor Sri Balaji Vidyapith, for giving an excellent coverage on his Yoga Day address. I also wish to express my gratitude to Professor A.R. Srinivasan, sir, Registrar SBV, for providing felicitation address. We all are inspired by your great words. Finally, I could like to take this opportunity to place and record our hearty thanks to the management of SBV for the perfect support and guidance to conduct the a week-long SBV IDY 2021 events. I also extend my thanks to Yogacharya Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani, sir, Director, CITER, Dr. Meena Ramanathan, Madam Deputy Director, CITER, and also the research scholars and staffs of CITER for their anonymous cooperation in this organization of this event. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Dayanidhi. And with this round of gratitude to everyone, we will end with the national anthem. I request everyone to rise for the national anthem as we
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Namaste and thank you everyone. We conclude Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, and we will be continuing with this Yoginar tomorrow and every day of this week at 10:30. I request all our participants from around the world to join us. Dhanyavadaha, Shukriya, Grazie, Danke, Merci, Nandri, Vanakkam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Namaste.